Stanford Erickson, editorial director of Chiropractic Economics here at the Parker Show. This is the last time in Las Vegas. I'm here with Ed Miller. Ed Miller is a pretty well-known person throughout here. Most people know it. He founded Impac. And tell us how you founded it and what the advantage of Impac, this gadget you have here, is, please, sir.
Okay. Well, we were research and development, and you can see if you happen to pan out towards the television here with motion X-ray. That was a major part, a contributor to what we needed to find was necessary in the adjustments, but even also in soft tissue work and fascial release and such as that. This is Dr. Wogan on the screen right now with the Scoliosis Institute, and you'll find many. We're at the Parker Show right now at this particular interview, and there's many of our technique doctors, over 20 techniques now, that some of which you might be able to visit here on the ChiroEco's preview. Dr. George Gonzalez, an advertiser, and Dr. Wogan and such like that, with the scoliosis and CBP and such of those well-known techniques. Right here I'm holding the vibrocussor.
So you've been around more than 20 years, right?
It's 27, I think. What's 2000? We're 28 years now. So yes, and actually our original equipment is still out there. Mm-hmm. In the practices, you don't find used equipment because it stays in good repair all these years. Literally the same equipment now, 27 years. Kind of nice. We keep the doctors that long too.
And what is that?
Well, this is the vibrocussor, and then there's an unusual device on it right now called a Therapy Edge, and it's very interesting. You might want to experience now. It works in the Graston and the gua sha and the cross fiction and the cross fiber and scar tissue type work, and of course you're using the edge of the blade, and we invite you to get a little bit more curious. It's pretty hard to show the very details of how the percussion transmits through the body, but percussion is through the body. That's the idea, fascia being continuous.
And why is that effective and useful to the body?
Well, why don't we just do something and see how you enjoy that. We'll just turn you a little bit over here, and we're going to touch down. You see that I use the edge of the blade here. We're at about 52 percussions in a second.
Wow.
And we slide down, and we're doing deep compression and release at the same time that we have that neurological input. You know, this is the highest concentration mechanoreceptors in the whole of the body. This is the cerebral fluid that we're enrolling. We're in the bladder meridian with the acupuncture world and nerve endings, heart, lung, kidney, and such like that. Hey, what's your experience?
Wow, the whole body vibrates, and the brain as well.
And it's comfortable?
It's very comfortable. It just feels very good and very relaxing.
And you can probably see that you can bring motion into any of those segments as you're working with this. And in particular, as you move it down, slow it down, you can work with shoulders. You can get underneath the actual shoulder blade, and then lymphatics falls into place with it and such. You know, you take it like this, you just rotate it easily. Instead of digging so deeply into a shoulder, I can just bring it into here. But really, I got to invite you down to one of the events or to a seminar and have.
You have seminars that you perform and show how the doctors might use this?
Yeah, as mentioned, there's 20 techniques. Each of those techniques have seminars throughout the year. Those techniques have niche markets to them. The Gonzalez has more of a rehabilitation flavor. The Dr. Wogan in the Scoliosis Clearance Institute, well, his name kind of identifies where he takes his reward. He's got an 80-degree scoliosis to a 30, and this plays a big part in that. He takes a military neck, has a lordosis in a week and a half to 2 weeks. Well, this plays a big part in that. The CBP, wonderful. Mirror imaging, they own that mirror imaging, that term and such, so you see the application with instruments and mirror imaging. You see Dr. Alan Creed. I don't know if we can pan out to that, but he's been a pioneer in instrument adjusting for over 20 years now, and very familiar. People know.
A very good endorsement of what you created, because these are very famous people.
They are very famous people for a long time, and a lot of people draw upon their knowledge, and you see it in the DVDs and such. Look at this particular adapter. If we wanted to get that shoulder to rotate and that, we can actually max out that instrument over here, and I bet you that was pretty tolerable.
That's very tolerable.
All right. So that's 20 times, or that's 12 times a second there that you experience.
It saves the hand of the doctor too, right?
It really does. When you look into the practices, the docs are And it's not only that, it's actually marketed because you put it on the website. Now you have two proficiencies. You have the proficiency of instrument and the proficiency of the manual mode, right? And nobody can walk by your office without having the, being able to be served, right? Okay. And in addition, it does save your hands. Even if you invested in an instrument for 20% of the time, well, that's 20% more energy at the end of the day, right? Okay. That's more longevity and such for you in the practice and that. And the techniques, the excitement that the patient has, okay, is more stay, pay, and refer in regards to that. An excited patient does refer, right?
How many adapters do you have?
Well, there's pages. If you go to the website, impacinc.net, okay, you'll see pages of adapters. We're not recommending you get them all. They actually fit with the techniques. And acupuncture and Dr. John Amaro, where you can get your CE credits. Many people would love to have that. That's the place to go. You get these adapters that specialize in acupressure, acupuncture. Okay.
You have an excitement that transcends what you've built, right? You're helping people.
Yeah, we're a service organization. Their success is our success. The thing is, these instruments here, if I lay them on the table, that's all they do. They do nothing. But if I can get them in the doctor's hands, they can work miracles. And that's the real joy of it. And again, just as that motion x-ray shows, you can watch it happen right there on motion x-ray. And that's the joy of studying with Dr. Wogan, is you get to see yourself on motion x-ray, working with instruments and saving those gals. One of the things about Dr. Wogan that I admire that kind of draws a lot of people is he has a passion. He doesn't want to see any of these young girls with rods in their back that don't have to have it. And that's a real passion. That's a value that I see, and I want to be part of that.
Thank you, Ed Miller.
You take care now. Thank you so much.